Adam Walsh steps out of his rental car into a humid Florida evening. The sky above darkens into a purple haze, carrying the promise of summer rain. A neon sign hums overhead. Sunset Breeze Motel, its letters flickering slightly in the muggy air. Adam adjusts the collar of his faded polo shirt, reminding himself he isn't here as the CEO of a nationwide hospitality chain. He's just Adam, a traveler checking in for a night's stay. Rumors of staff abuse, mismanagement, and overworked employees have been circulating about this place, a small motel recently acquired by his company. Unsatisfied by vague reports from middle managers, Adam decided to go undercover and see, with his own eyes, the state of the operation. He steps through the glass door into a modest lobby. An outdated tropical mural covers one wall, bright overhead lights reveal scuffed tile floors, and a lone fan rattles in the corner. No one stands behind the reception desk at first glance, so Adam clears his throat, scanning for a bell or sign. Suddenly, from a back room, a young woman scurries out, nearly colliding with the desk. She looks up in surprise, her name tag reading Charlotte. Her eyes carry hints of exhaustion behind a polite smile. "Oh, hello," she says breathlessly. "Welcome to Sunset Breeze. Checking in?" Adam nods. "Yeah, I have a reservation. Name's Adam. It might be under... Well, the system might have me as a walk-in." He stumbles over his words, recalling that he didn't book under his real credentials to avoid detection. Charlotte consults an ancient-looking computer, her tired expression softening. "Sure thing. We do have a single for tonight. Smoking or non-smoking?" "None, please," Adam says. She nods, tapping the keyboard. "We're short-staffed, so apologies for the wait. Our manager's been on me about faster check-ins, but we only have so many hands, right?" She tries to laugh, but it's thin, overshadowed by tension. Adam wonders if she's hinting at a deeper frustration. He offers a small, understanding smile. "No worries." "Busy night?" Charlotte sighs, glancing around. "Could be busier, but we've got enough guests. Manager wants each of us to handle multiple roles. I'm the only one up front until morning. Housekeeping's short too, so..." She trails off, forcing another smile. "Anyway, here's your key card. Room 212, upstairs. Elevator's out, sorry." Adam thanks her, taking the plastic key. He hoists his duffel bag over his shoulder, scanning the deserted hallway to his right. He's determined to stay in character, but part of him wants to start interrogating Charlotte about the staff's morale. Instead, he heads up the worn flight of stairs, the overhead lights flickering. The corridor smells faintly of disinfectant and stale air. He finds his room, a small but serviceable space with an aging AC unit under the window. He drops his bag on the bed, noticing the sagging mattress. A quick flick of the overhead light reveals battered furniture, the wallpaper slightly peeling near the corners. It's not the standard his chain strives for, but he's seen worse. More pressing is the sense of tension in Charlotte's demeanor. He can't shake the thought that something deeper is wrong. He checks his watch, 9:15 p.m. The manager presumably works somewhere on site. Adam decides to observe more of the motel tonight, see how staff interactions play out. He freshens up, then heads back down the stairs. On the way, he notices chipped paint on the railings, a flickering exit sign. At the bottom, he hears muffled voices. Stepping into the lobby, he finds Charlotte leaning over the desk phone, her expression panicked. She doesn't see him at first, so Adam quietly stalls near a vending machine. Her voice is hushed, trembling with an undercurrent of urgency. I know," she says into the phone, "but I can't do it right now. There's no one to cover the desk. Please, just give me more time." A pause. She swallows hard, glancing around to ensure no one's listening. "Yes, I understand. I'll try." Then she hangs up, pressing her hands against the counter, eyes squeezed shut. Adam stops cold, heart lurching. Something about her tone stirs alarm. He wonders if that phone call is personal or work. The conversation hints at an unthinkable dilemma, but he can't piece it together yet. Gathering himself, he steps forward, feigning a casual reason for being there. "Hey, sorry. Just wanted to ask if you have extra towels." Charlotte snaps upright, forcing a smile. "Oh, yes, sorry, let me see." She rummages under the counter, producing 2 threadbare towels. "Here you go." Adam thanks her gently, noting the tension in her gaze. "Thanks. By the way, everything's okay with my room. Appreciate your help." He hesitates, not wanting to pry too soon. "Busy night for you?" She musters a shaky laugh. "Oh, it's manageable." Her eyes dart to the back office door, a flicker of apprehension crossing her face. "I guess that's all I can do. Manage." Adam nods, the compassion in him growing. "Well, you're doing a good job from what I can see." She blushes slightly. "Thanks. If you need anything else, just ask." Her phone rings again, making her jump. She mumbles an apology and answers, voice tense as she greets a potential guest calling about room rates. Adam steps away, determined to find out more. He senses that Charlotte is stuck in some predicament. He lingers near a worn sofa in the lobby, pretending to check his phone, overhearing a snippet of conversation from behind the office door. It's muffled, but he hears a man's terse voice. Possibly the manager? Suddenly the door swings open, and a short, stocky man in his late 40s emerges, name tag reading Doug, Manager. He wears a scowl, flipping through papers on a clipboard. Charlotte finishes her call and looks up, tension etched on her features. "Why aren't these invoices filed yet?" Doug snaps, tapping the clipboard. "I told you to handle them by dinner." Charlotte flushes. I had a line of guests earlier, then the phone's been ringing, plus housekeeping called in short, so..." Doug cuts her off, excuses. "Corporate expects better. If you can't keep up, maybe you don't belong here." He glances around, noticing Adam in the corner, so he lowers his voice. "We'll talk later," he mutters, then disappears into the back office again. Adam's jaw tightens. That was definitely a flash of tyranny. Charlotte stands there, shoulders sagging. Before Adam can approach, the desk phone rings again, and she forces a professional tone as she answers. He decides not to break her stride. Instead, he heads outside for some air. A warm breeze meets him in the parking lot, the sky fully dark now, a canopy of stars above the swaying palms. He circles the motel, noticing a side door propped open. Muffled sounds emanate from inside. Perhaps staff chatter or a TV. He tiptoes closer, hearing a voice that might be Charlotte's, subdued and trembling. Another voice, a woman's, tries to console her. Adam peeks in discreetly, seeing a small break room with a flickering fluorescent light. He recognizes Charlotte, eyes red from tears, confiding in an older housekeeper named Rosa. Charlotte's words are hushed. "I'm stuck. My landlord's giving me a final warning. If I leave now to deal with it, Doug will flip, but if I don't, I might get evicted." Rosa pats Charlotte's arm sympathetically. "I'm so sorry, mija. This place never gives us enough staff or time. But your home is more important, yes? Maybe you can step out for an hour." Charlotte shakes her head. "Doug threatened to fire me if I left before midnight. He says corporate is cracking down on labor hours. I can't lose this job, but I also can't lose my apartment. I don't know what to do." She wipes a tear, shoulders quaking. Adam's heart drops. He stands rooted, horrified by the unthinkable dilemma Charlotte faces, forced to choose between saving her home or keeping her job. The threat she's been dealing with must be her landlord demanding immediate rent or a meeting. Another angle is Doug's unyielding stance, ignoring human needs. Furious and devastated, Adam moves to step in. Before he can, footsteps approach from inside. Charlotte notices Adam peering in, eyes widening with alarm. Rosa, startled, stands quickly, clearing her throat. Adam flushes but steps forward, trying to stay calm. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overhear," he says softly, catching the quiver in Charlotte's eyes. She musters a tense smile. "It's okay, it's just a personal issue." She forces a breath, glancing at Rosa. "We should get back to work." Rosa offers Adam a sad nod, returning to a nearby laundry cart. Charlotte starts to follow, but Adam gently stops her. "Look, if you need to step out—" "I mean, I'm just a guest, but if it's urgent, you could lock the door or something." "Let me handle phone calls for a bit." Charlotte tries to laugh at the absurd idea. "You're sweet. But if Doug found out, A door slams, cutting her off. Doug storms in, clipboard in hand, scowl plastered across his face. "What's going on here?" He eyes Adam suspiciously, then flicks his gaze to Charlotte. "Break time's over. Charlotte, I need those invoices done, or else." He glances at Rosa. "And you, laundry, now." Adam steps forward, adrenaline surging, but he keeps his identity hidden for a moment longer. She's dealing with something important. Couldn't someone else handle the desk? Give her an hour? Doug scoffs. "Are you insane? We barely have staff. Corporate's on my back to keep labor costs down. No one leaves early unless they want a pink slip." He narrows his eyes. "Who are you to question me?" Adam meets his gaze calmly. Just someone who thinks employees shouldn't have to choose between losing their job or their home. Doug's sneer deepens. "That's not my problem. Charlotte's an adult. She can figure it out. Now, if you're done meddling, please go enjoy your stay, sir. This is a staff area." Charlotte's face reddens, tears threatening to spill again. Rosa folds laundry with trembling hands, likely used to such tension. Adam's blood boils. He wonders how often Doug lords over them with threats. But Adam forces himself to remain incognito a bit longer, determined to glean every detail. He nods stiffly, stepping back toward the hallway. Doug ushers Charlotte out, presumably returning her to the front desk. The next hour drags. Adam returns to his room, but he can't just ignore the staff's struggles. He contemplates confronting Doug openly, revealing he's the new owner. But he also wants full evidence of how employees are treated. At around 10:45 p.m., he slips back downstairs. He finds the lobby deserted, lights dim. A note reading, "Back in 5 minutes." He glances behind the desk at the messy stack of invoices Charlotte must handle. He steps outside, noticing Charlotte near the phone booth by the parking lot, presumably on a desperate call. She looks on the verge of crying, phone pressed to her ear. Adam stays at a distance but overhears fragments. "I know. Please, just wait until tomorrow morning. I can't leave yet or I'll be fired." Then she covers her face, stifling a sob. Adam stops cold, heartbreak twisting his chest. He can't watch any longer. He steps closer, gently calling her name. She jumps, quickly ending the call. I'm so sorry, sir. I'll be back in the lobby soon." "Charlotte," he says softly, "you shouldn't have to choose like this. Let me help. Before he finishes, Doug appears from around the corner, face livid. "Charlotte, enough wandering. If you leave that desk again without permission, consider your job gone. Now get inside and finalize those invoices or we'll both be answering to corporate." He flicks an annoyed glance at Adam. "And you, thanks for meddling, but we have rules here." Adam's temper flares. Enough is enough. He draws a steadying breath. "Actually, I am corporate. My name is Adam Walsh, CEO of the chain that just acquired this motel." He pulls a small ID card from his wallet. The overhead lamp reveals his photo, name, and the company logo. A stunned silence falls. Charlotte's eyes widen, tears still glistening, now mixed with shock. Doug stands rooted, clipboard in hand, mouth slightly open. Adam meets his gaze firmly. "I came undercover because I heard rumors of staff misery, short staffing, and a hostile manager. I see now that it's all true." Doug stammers. You're the new owner? Then you should know the staff are incompetent, always whining. I've had to be strict to keep this place afloat." Adam's voice rises, carrying a note of anger. You think that justifies forcing your receptionist to stay when she's facing eviction? Or ignoring basic staffing needs? Or scaring employees into skipping urgent personal issues? Charlotte stands behind Adam, trembling, relief mingling with dread. Doug's face flushes. Look, corporate-mandated cost cuts. I'm just following orders. She can handle her problems on her own time. Adam shakes his head, fury pulsing in his veins. That's not how we run a humane workplace. Starting right now, Charlotte is free to address her immediate crisis. And you? Adam narrows his eyes. I'll speak to HR tomorrow, but you can consider your managerial authority revoked. We'll bring in someone who respects employees' basic rights. Possibly, you'll be moved to a different position or terminated altogether, depending on the investigation. Doug sputters, but I never got the resources from corporate. Adam cuts him off. Then you should have escalated that request. Instead, you threatened your staff. I won't allow that under my leadership. He turns to Charlotte, voice gentler. Go, do what you need to do. The motel can survive a little while without you. I'll cover the desk if necessary. Charlotte's tears finally spill over. Thank you. I just need to talk to my landlord in person. If I can't pay the overdue amount or make an arrangement, he'll lock me out. This job was my only hope. Adam nods, offering a reassuring smile. We'll figure out a better system for you. You deserve help, not threats. She sobs quietly with gratitude. Then, with a trembling voice, she thanks him and hurries off to gather her purse. Doug stands there, stunned. Adam levels him with a steady gaze. We're done here. I'll handle the front desk until we sort out a new plan. If you have anything to say it to HR tomorrow. Doug grits his teeth, but seeing no recourse, he mutters under his breath and slinks back into the office, presumably to pack up or scowl in private. Adam notices Rosa, the housekeeper, peering from the hallway, eyes wide. He gestures for her to come forward, explaining the situation. She exhales, pressing a hand to her chest. Thank you, sir. We've been under so much stress. Charlotte's a good person. Adam nods, softening his tone. I'm sorry it took me so long to come here. That changes now. We'll hire more staff, set fair policies, and make sure no one's forced into these awful choices. For tonight, let's just keep the place running smoothly, and I'll see that everyone goes home at a decent hour. Rosa's face lights with relief. Thank you, she whispers. Adam escorts her back toward the housekeeping area, then settles behind the reception desk. He scans the messy invoices. Charlotte's stress is obvious in half-finished forms. He decides he'll do what he can, though it's nearly 11 p.m. The phone rings once or twice. Adam answers politely, no longer hiding his identity if it comes up. After about half an hour, Charlotte returns, eyes puffy but determined. She pulls Adam aside to say she managed to stave off eviction with a partial payment arrangement. She sighs, exhausted but grateful. Adam offers a gentle smile. I'm so glad. Tomorrow we'll discuss an advance on your pay, or a loan. Something to help you stabilize. This motel is under new leadership and will operate with humanity, not fear. Tears flood Charlotte's eyes again. Thank you. I can't believe it. Adam notices Doug lurking in the office, eyeing them with frustration. Adam calls the staff, Rosa, Charlotte, and another housekeeper just finishing her shift, for a quick meeting in the lobby. He explains who he truly is, promises immediate changes so no one is alone, ensuring breaks, setting up a fund for emergency staff situations. The employees exchange stunned looks, tears of relief brimming in their eyes. Adam ends by saying, I'll stay on site for the next week, personally overseeing improvements. My door, air, phone is open if you need anything. Also, if anyone beyond these walls wants to see how we fix a place that was run badly, they can keep watching, or you can invite them to check out the changes in person. We're going to show everyone how a motel should treat its workers. Charlotte chokes out a laugh of gratitude while Rosa claps softly. The weight on their faces lightens. Even Doug, standing at the edge of the group, looks chastened and uncertain of his fate. Adam spares him a short nod, intending to handle his case fairly but firmly in the morning. Finally, close to midnight, Adam insists Charlotte head home to rest. He encourages Rosa to finish only essential tasks, then clock out. Doug slinks away, presumably to gather his own papers. Adam sits behind the desk in the now empty lobby, reflecting on the day's events, the manager's cruelty, the housekeeper's quiet resilience, Charlotte's unthinkable dilemma between losing her job or her home. A wave of guilt washes over him for not stepping in sooner, but at least now he can correct course. He closes his eyes, leaning back against the old swivel chair. The overhead fluorescent flickers, as if the motel itself is breathing relief at the prospect of new beginnings. He mentally outlines tomorrow's to-do list. Contact HR about Doug, finalize staff expansions, personally handle any urgent facility repairs. Possibly a raise or bonus for Charlotte, who's been juggling impossible demands. He rises to his feet, turning off all but the security lights. The Sunset Breeze Motel sign outside still flickers pink and yellow, an odd comfort in the quiet night. Adam steps onto the front porch, feeling the sticky heat and hearing distant traffic hum. He's exhausted, but adrenaline keeps him awake. He used to believe trusting local managers was enough. Now he sees how easily staff can be trapped if the manager's heartless or the budget is ill-managed. He heads up the stairs, passing chipped paint and a battered sign reading "Ice Machine, greater than." As he reaches room 212, he exhales slowly, pushing open the door. The AC rattles to life, cool air blowing across the worn carpet. Dropping onto the bed, he gazes at the ceiling. Scenes replay in his mind. Charlotte's voice trembling on the phone, Doug's sneering dismissal, Rosa's gentle empathy. He can't forget how Charlotte's entire livelihood teetered because of an inflexible manager and poor policies. A pang of resolve steals his spine. Tomorrow, everything changes. He'll rescue the staff from fear, ensure employees can address emergencies without risking their paycheck. This is exactly why he embarked on an undercover CEO mission in the first place, to discover real problems lurking behind corporate files. Now, with the truth in hand, he can set things right. He closes his eyes, letting a faint grin tug at his lips. If any curious soul wants to watch, they can tune in as he transforms Sunset Breeze Motel into a place where staff and guests alike feel welcomed. No more chilling dilemmas. No more tears behind the scenes, because employees shouldn't have to choose between eviction and a shift, especially not in his company. His phone buzzes softly, an email from corporate, ironically. He silences it, deciding to deal with it in the morning. For now, he allows himself a moment of peace. The fluorescent hum from outside lulls him, and though the bed isn't the finest, sleep eventually claims him. Tomorrow, he'll wake as the CEO, openly and unashamed, forging a better path for Charlotte, Rosa, and any staff who's ever felt cornered.